Stoic Power Introduction. What is the secret to Stoic power? How did the great Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus cultivate an unshakable mind, unwavering self-discipline, and complete emotional control? In a world filled with distractions, pressures, and uncertainty, the wisdom of Stoicism provides a timeless blueprint for mastering life's challenges with strength and clarity. Welcome to Stoic Power. What is the secret to Stoic power? A transformative guide to applying the principles of self-discipline, emotional mastery, and resilience in everyday life. Produced by Stoic Vibes, this audiobook is designed to help you integrate Stoic habits into your routine so you can develop unbreakable focus, emotional stability, and inner strength. The teachings of Stoicism are not about suppressing emotions or being indifferent to life. Instead, they are about cultivating control over how we respond to events, making rational decisions, and maintaining a clear mind in all situations. This book will take you through the core Stoic practices that can help you transform your mindset, improve your self-discipline, and remain calm and composed in the face of adversity. Throughout this audiobook, you will gain practical insights into how Stoicism can be applied in modern life, guiding you in developing a resilient mindset, embracing adversity with grace, and maintaining focus amidst distractions. The Stoic approach is not just theoretical. It is a way of living that empowers you to navigate life's obstacles with wisdom and composure. By the end of this journey, you will have the tools to strengthen your self-discipline, enhance your emotional control, and unlock the secret to lasting inner power. Whether you are seeking personal growth, mental resilience, or a deeper understanding of Stoic philosophy, this book will serve as a roadmap to achieving clarity, strength, and mastery over your thoughts and actions. Are you ready to unlock the secret to Stoic power? Let's begin this journey together. Next chapter, the foundation of Stoic power. Chapter 1. The foundation of Stoic power. Understanding the core principles of Stoicism. The foundation of Stoic power begins with understanding the fundamental principles of Stoicism and how they shape mental strength, self-discipline, and emotional control. At its core, Stoicism is not about avoiding hardship, but about mastering how we respond to the world around us. It teaches us that external events are beyond our control, but our reactions to them are entirely within our power. The dichotomy of control. The key to mental strength. One of the most famous Stoic teachings comes from Epictetus, who stated, "Some things are up to us, and some things are not." This idea forms the dichotomy of control, a concept that differentiates between what we can control, our thoughts, actions, choices, and mindset, what we cannot control, external events, other people's actions, and the outcomes of situations. Modern example. Consider LeBron James, a basketball legend known for his mental discipline. Before major games, he controls his preparation, mindset, and training, while ignoring external distractions like media narratives and fan reactions. His ability to focus only on what is within his power is a perfect real-world application of the dichotomy of control. By concentrating on his skills and decisions, he maximizes success while remaining emotionally resilient. Practical application. Identify what is within your control. When facing stress, ask yourself, is this something I can influence? If not, release it. Practice mental discipline. Train your mind to focus only on what you can change. Use setbacks as learning experiences. Instead of reacting emotionally, analyze challenges logically. Embracing adversity as a path to strength. The Stoics believed that adversity is not an obstacle, but a necessary component of growth. Marcus Aurelius stated, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This means that obstacles are not something to fear. They are the very path to resilience and strength. Modern example. Consider Oprah Winfrey, who overcame extreme poverty and early career setbacks to become one of the most influential media figures in history. Instead of succumbing to hardship, She viewed challenges as fuel for growth, continuously learning from failures and using them as stepping stones to build a media empire. Her ability to persist through adversity is a demonstration of Stoic resilience. Practical application. Reframe obstacles as opportunities. Instead of saying, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "How can I grow from this?" Train yourself to endure discomfort. Challenge yourself regularly with small hardships to build resilience. Apply a long-term mindset. Instead of fearing failure, use it as fuel for future success. Mastering emotional control. Becoming unshakable, emotional control is one of the most important aspects of Stoic power. Anger, anxiety, and frustration arise when we fail to control our reactions. However, as Seneca wisely stated, a raging fire burns out unless fuel is added to it. Modern example. Think about Jeff Bezos, founder of Amazon. Throughout his career, Bezos has maintained composure in the face of criticism, market crashes, and business setbacks. Rather than reacting emotionally, he focuses on long-term strategies and rational decision-making, allowing him to navigate uncertainty with logic and patience. His ability to detach from short-term emotions aligns perfectly with Stoic emotional control. Practical application. Pause before reacting. When confronted with an emotional situation, take a deep breath before responding. Practice. Journaling. Writing down your thoughts helps you analyze them logically instead of emotionally. Develop a neutral mindset. Instead of labeling events as good or bad, see them as neutral information to act upon. Training the mind. Daily Stoic exercises for strength. Stoicism is not just a philosophy, it is a daily practice. The best way to cultivate Stoic power is through consistent mental training. Exercise. 1. Morning mental preparation before you start your day. Remind yourself of these Stoic affirmations. I will focus only on what I can control. I will welcome challenges as opportunities for growth. I will remain calm and rational in all situations. Exercise 2. Practicing voluntary discomfort. One way to strengthen mental toughness is through voluntary discomfort. The Stoics regularly expose themselves to controlled hardship to train their resilience. Take cold showers to build endurance against discomfort. Go a day without using social media to develop self-discipline. Fast intermittently to train yourself in self-restraint. Exercise. 3. Evening reflection. At the end of each day, review your actions and thoughts. Did I control my emotions today? Did I focus on what was within my power? How can I improve tomorrow? Conclusion. The first step to Stoic power. The foundation of Stoic power lies in mastering your mind, your emotions, and your response to adversity. By understanding the dichotomy of control, embracing hardships as opportunities, and practicing daily Stoic exercises, you lay the groundwork for unshakable resilience and clarity. As we move forward in this book, we will explore deeper aspects of self-discipline, emotional mastery, and personal growth. Are you ready to continue this journey? Let's proceed to the next chapter. Next chapter. Mastering self-discipline, the path to personal power. Chapter 2. Mastering self-discipline, the path to personal power. The importance of self-discipline in Stoicism. Self-discipline is the foundation of true personal power. The Stoics believed that without discipline, wisdom is useless, emotions become overwhelming, and goals remain unachieved. A person who lacks self-discipline is a slave to impulses, distractions, and external influences. Marcus Aurelius, one of history's greatest Stoic leaders, once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." This idea reminds us that discipline is not about restriction, it is about liberation. The more we control our thoughts and actions, the freer we become. True Stoic power lies in choosing what is right over what is easy, even when no one is watching. The battle between short-term pleasure and long-term growth. One of the greatest obstacles to self-discipline is immediate gratification. In today's world, everything is designed for instant pleasure. Social media notifications, fast food, binge-watching TV shows. But Stoic power comes from resisting short-term impulses and focusing on long-term fulfillment. Everyday example. Imagine coming home after a long, exhausting day at work. You had planned to read a book, exercise, or work on a personal project, but instead you reach for your phone and spend hours scrolling through mindless social media content. You feel good in the moment, but later you regret wasting time on something unimportant. A Stoic mindset would recognize this urge for distraction and redirect energy toward productive action, even when it's difficult. Practical application. Pause and reflect before giving in to distractions. Ask, does this action serve my long-term growth? Use the 10-minute rule. If you feel an urge to procrastinate, commit to just 10 minutes of your task first. Track your habits. Write down how much time you spend on distractions versus meaningful work. Building a strong mind through routine and habit discipline does not rely on motivation. It depends on habit. The Stoics understood that repeating small, disciplined actions daily leads to greatness over time. Everyday example. Think about someone training for a marathon. If they only run when they feel like it, they will never be ready for race day. However, if they commit to a structured training schedule even on days they don't want to run, they will build endurance and mental strength. The same principle applies to building mental discipline. Small daily habits form a strong, unshakable, mind-practical application. Create a morning routine. Start your day with a structured plan rather than reacting to external events. Set specific goals and commit to them daily. Even if progress is small, consistency leads to mastery. Remove unnecessary choices. Simplify decisions in your life, e.g., planning meals ahead, to reduce mental fatigue. Mastering the art of saying no. Many people lack self-discipline because they cannot say no to distractions, to social obligations, or to habits that do not serve them. But a disciplined mind prioritizes what matters most. Everyday example. You are invited to a last-minute social event, but you had planned to study, rest, or work on something important. Saying yes would be easy, but it would take you further from your goals. A Stoic would pause, reflect, and make the choice based on long-term values, not short-term pressure. Practical application. Before committing to something, ask, does this align with my priorities? Give yourself permission to decline. You don't need an excuse to say no. Create a do not disturb time daily for personal focus and growth. Overcoming emotional weakness. Through discipline, the Stoics taught that emotions, fear, anger, laziness, can easily override rational thinking. A person who follows emotions without discipline is like a ship with no captain. Everyday example. Imagine being in a heated argument with a coworker. Your instinct is to shout back or prove your point aggressively. However, reacting emotionally could damage relationships and create more stress. A Stoic leader would pause, take a deep breath, and respond calmly and rationally, instead of being driven by impulse. Practical application. Use deep breathing. Techniques before responding emotionally. Reframe situations from a neutral perspective. Ask, will this matter in a year? Detach from negative emotions before making decisions. The discipline of focus. Eliminating distractions. In a world of constant noise, maintaining deep focus is a rare skill. The Stoics trained their minds to avoid distractions and concentrate fully on what matters. Everyday example. You sit down to work, but your phone vibrates with notifications. Without thinking, you check it, and 30 minutes of scrolling later, you have lost momentum. A Stoic approach would involve turning off distractions before beginning a task and immersing fully in the present work. Practical application. Use the Pomodoro technique. Work in focused blocks of time without interruptions. Keep your phone away while working. Out of sight, out of mind. Practice single tasking. Give 100% attention to one task at a time. Conclusion. The path to personal power self-discipline is the gateway to Stoic power. It is the ability to control impulses, maintain focus, and make choices based on wisdom rather than emotion. By implementing these Stoic habits, you will resist distractions and immediate gratification. Develop strong routines for success. Master the art of saying no to things that do not serve you. Strengthen your emotional control. Train your mind to focus deeply on what matters. Discipline is not something you are born with. It is something you train every day. The more you practice, the stronger your mind becomes. Are you ready to take your discipline to the next level? Let's move forward. Next chapter. Emotional Mastery through Stoicism, How to Remain Calm and Composed. Chapter 3. Emotional Mastery. Through Stoicism, How to Remain Calm and Composed. The Power of Emotional Control. In Stoicism, emotions are a natural part of being human, but when left unchecked, they can dictate our decisions, cloud our judgment, and lead us away from rational thinking. The Stoics believed that true power comes from mastering our emotions rather than being mastered by them. Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, wrote, "Most powerful is he who has himself in his own power." This means that the strongest individuals are not those who avoid emotions, but those who understand, regulate, and direct them wisely. Understanding the root of emotional reactions. Before we can control our emotions, we must understand where they come from. The Stoics taught that emotions arise from our perceptions, not from the events themselves, but from the meaning we attach to them. Everyday example. Imagine you're driving to work and someone cuts you off in traffic. Your initial reaction might be anger. How dare they? But in reality, the event itself is neutral. The anger arises from your interpretation of the event. A Stoic response would be to pause, recognize that getting angry serves no purpose, and let it go. Practical application. Reframe negative events as neutral. Ask, am I reacting to the event or my perception of it? Recognize that emotions are temporary. What frustrates you now may not matter in an hour. Practice the pause and breathe method. Before reacting, take 3 deep breaths, training yourself to respond. Not react. Stoicism teaches us that emotions should be acknowledged, but not blindly followed. Emotional mastery comes from training ourselves to respond rationally instead of reacting impulsively. Everyday example. You receive an email from your boss that seems harsh or critical. Your first instinct might be frustration or defensiveness. But instead of replying immediately, you step back and analyze the situation with logic. A Stoic leader would wait, reread the message with a neutral mindset, and respond thoughtfully, rather than emotionally. Practical application. Use a time buffer before reacting. Wait at least 10 minutes before responding to an emotional trigger. Separate yourself from the emotion. Ask, if I were giving advice to a friend, what would I say? Identify patterns. Reflect on when you usually react emotionally, and prepare in advance. Managing fear and anxiety. The Stoic approach. Fear and anxiety often come from worrying about the future, things we cannot control. The Stoics believed that preparing for difficulties in advance would reduce fear and increase confidence. Marcus Aurelius advised, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Everyday example. You're about to give a big presentation at work and anxiety kicks in. You start imagining all the ways it could go wrong. A Stoic approach would be to prepare, accept that nerves are normal, and remind yourself that worrying about failure does nothing to prevent it. Practical application. Use premeditatio malorum. Imagine possible setbacks in advance and prepare solutions. Reframe anxiety as excitement. Your body reacts similarly to both. Direct the energy positively. Focus on preparation, not perfection. Control what you can and accept the rest. Turning negative emotions into strength. The Stoics believed that every negative emotion carries the potential for growth and strength, if we learn to use it wisely. Everyday example, you experience a failure or setback, a job rejection, a personal disappointment, or a missed opportunity. Your initial reaction might be self-doubt or frustration. A Stoic mindset would see this as a chance to learn, adapt, and improve, rather than as a personal failure. Practical application. Turn frustration into focus. Instead of dwelling on what went wrong, identify what you can improve. Convert disappointment into determination. Use failures as motivation to grow. View challenges as training. Every difficulty is an opportunity to strengthen your mind. Practicing daily emotional mastery, like physical exercise, emotional control must be trained daily to become second nature. Daily exercises to strengthen emotional mastery. Journaling. Write down emotional triggers and analyze them rationally. Meditation and deep breathing. Train your mind to remain calm under pressure. Evening reflection. Review the day and assess how well you controlled your emotions. Stoic self-questioning. Ask, was my reaction today based on logic or impulse? Conclusion. Cultivating unshakable emotional strength. Emotional mastery is not about suppressing feelings. It is about understanding, controlling, and directing them effectively. The more we train ourselves to respond with logic rather than impulse, the stronger we become. By practicing Stoic emotional control, you will remain calm in stressful situations, handle criticism with wisdom and composure, reduce anxiety by focusing only on what is within your control, use failures as stepping stones to greater success. Are you ready to take control of your emotions and become unshakable? Let's continue. Next chapter. The Stoic approach to challenges and hardships. Turning obstacles into strength. Chapter 4. The Stoic approach to challenges and hardships. Turning obstacles into strength. The Stoic perspective on adversity. Challenges, setbacks, and obstacles are inevitable in life. However, the Stoic approach to hardships is radically different from how most people react. Instead of seeing obstacles as roadblocks, the Stoics viewed them as opportunities for growth and self-improvement. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, famously wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This means that every challenge is a tool for strengthening your mind, refining your character, and pushing you toward greatness. Reframing hardships. From problems to possibilities. The first step to overcoming obstacles is changing how we perceive them. Every day. Example. You apply for a promotion at work but don't get selected. Instead of thinking, "I failed," a Stoic perspective would be, "What can I learn from this? How can I improve for the next opportunity?" A Stoic response would turn rejection into motivation, recognizing that setbacks are merely feedback for future success. Practical application. Reframe struggles as challenges, not defeats. Ask, what lesson does this difficulty offer me? Train your mind to see hardships as training. Each obstacle is a workout for your resilience. Eliminate self-pity. Instead of asking, "Why me?" ask, "How can I grow from this?" Using hardships to build mental toughness, the Stoics practiced voluntary discomfort, intentionally exposing themselves to small hardships to train for bigger ones. Everyday example. You wake up and don't feel like working out. A Stoic sees this as an opportunity to push through discomfort and build discipline. By embracing discomfort regularly, you become unshaken when true challenges arise. Practical application. Practice controlled hardship. Try fasting, taking cold showers, or walking in the rain without an umbrella. Push yourself through small difficulties. Avoid shortcuts and embrace temporary struggle. Strengthen resilience through repeated exposure. The more you endure, the stronger you become. Overcoming fear and anxiety. The Stoic way, fear of failure, uncertainty, or rejection often holds people back from taking action. The Stoics believed that most fear is irrational. It exists in our minds rather than in reality. Everyday example. You want to start a new business or pursue a creative project, but fear of failure stops you. A Stoic response would be, failure is not the end but part of the process. Every mistake brings me closer to success. Practical application. Use negative visualization. Imagine the worst-case scenario, accept it, and realize it is not as bad as you think. Face fears in small doses. If public speaking scares you, start by talking in small groups. Take immediate action. The longer you wait, the stronger fear becomes. Start before you feel ready. Practicing Stoic acceptance. Control what you can, let go of the rest. Many hardships come from trying to control the uncontrollable. The Stoics emphasized focusing only on what is within our control. Everyday example. Your flight is delayed, causing stress and frustration. But is your frustration changing the situation? A Stoic response would be to accept the situation, use the extra time productively, and focus on what is within your power. Practical application. Identify what is within your control. If it's not, let it go. Develop a habit of mental redirection. Shift focus from problems to solutions. Use obstacles as a chance for patience and reflection. Everything can be a training ground for virtue. Final thoughts. Strength is built through struggle. Every hardship you face is an opportunity to grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient. The greatest leaders, thinkers, and creators rose to power not in comfort, but in struggle. By applying these Stoic principles, you will turn obstacles into opportunities, train your mind to embrace discomfort, overcome fear and hesitation. Focus only on what you can control. Hardships are not meant to break you, they are meant to forge you into a stronger person. Are you ready to see every obstacle as an advantage? Let's continue this journey. Next chapter. Developing mental toughness. Strengthening the mind through Stoic training. Chapter 5. Developing mental toughness. Strengthening the mind through Stoic training. The role of mental toughness in Stoicism. Mental toughness is the ability to endure discomfort, remain composed under pressure, and push forward despite adversity. The Stoics believed that a resilient mind is not something we are born with, but something we train through daily habits and challenges. Epictetus wisely stated, "Difficulties show a person's character. Therefore, when trouble comes, think of yourself as a wrestler. A wrestler grows strong by facing stronger opponents. Every challenge you encounter is a test to strengthen your mind, discipline, and inner power." The importance of controlled hardship. The Stoics practiced voluntary discomfort, exposing themselves to controlled hardships to prepare for unexpected challenges in life. Everyday example. Instead of always seeking comfort, introduce small hardships into your daily routine, taking cold showers, fasting for a few hours, or walking instead of driving. A Stoic mindset would see these voluntary discomforts as a way to develop endurance, patience, and mental resilience. Practical application. Engage in mild discomfort daily. Train yourself to handle stress through controlled struggles. Limit unnecessary luxuries. Learn to appreciate life by occasionally denying yourself excess. Test your willpower. Set personal challenges and push past your mental barriers. Overcoming mental fatigue. The Stoic approach in today's world. Mental exhaustion comes not just from hard work, but from constant distractions, decision fatigue, and emotional stress. Everyday example. You spend your entire day switching between tasks, checking emails, scrolling social media, and making endless small decisions, leaving you mentally drained by evening. A Stoic approach would involve simplifying your day, focusing deeply on one task at a time, and reducing unnecessary choices. Practical application. Reduce decision fatigue. Plan meals, outfits, and priorities in advance. Practice deep work. Dedicate uninterrupted time to important tasks. Eliminate digital distractions. Set specific periods to check your phone instead of reacting instantly. The art of endurance, training the mind to push. Forward Stoics saw pain, struggle, and setbacks as necessary training for greater strength. The key is to embrace difficulty, not resist it. Everyday example. You're working on a difficult project and everything feels frustrating. Your instinct is to quit or switch to something easier. A Stoic response would be, "This struggle is training. The more I endure now, the stronger I become later." Practical application. Use discomfort as fuel. When facing difficulty, remind yourself that it is making you stronger. Adopt a long-term perspective. Focus on what this hardship will teach you over time. Maintain consistency. Progress comes from continuous effort, not occasional motivation. Practicing emotional stability, keeping a calm mind. Under stress, emotional resilience is a major part of mental toughness. The more you train yourself to remain calm under stress, the more unshakable you become. Everyday example. A coworker criticizes your work in front of others. You feel the urge to react defensively or prove them wrong. A Stoic approach would be to pause, control your response, and focus on logic over emotion. Practical application. Pause before reacting. Give yourself a moment to detach from immediate emotions. See criticism as feedback. Instead of getting offended, analyze whether there is truth in the comment. Detach from external validation. Your worth is not defined by others' opinions. The power of consistency. Small efforts, big results. Mental toughness is built not through grand actions, but through small, repeated efforts over time. Everyday example. You want to develop discipline in exercise, but motivation comes and goes. Instead of relying on feelings, you commit to showing up every day no matter how small the effort. A Stoic approach would be, discipline is doing what needs to be done, regardless of how I feel. Practical application. Develop daily habits. Focus on small, repeatable actions instead of waiting for motivation. Track progress. Measuring small wins keeps you accountable. Commit to the process. Growth comes from consistent effort, not occasional intensity. Conclusion. Strengthening the mind for life's challenges. Mental toughness is a trainable skill, not a trait people are born with. By practicing voluntary discomfort, reducing distractions, embracing struggle, and maintaining emotional stability, you become resilient in the face of any challenge. By applying these Stoic principles, you will develop the endurance to withstand life's hardships, remain calm and focused under pressure, train yourself to be unshakable in any situation, achieve mastery over your emotions and reactions. Hardships do not make you weak. They train you to become stronger. The more you embrace discomfort and control your mind, the more unstoppable you become. Are you ready to continue developing unshakable resilience? Let's move forward. Next chapter. Living with purpose and focus. Aligning your actions with your values. Chapter 6. Living with purpose and focus. Aligning your actions with your values. The importance of purpose in Stoicism. The Stoics believed that living with purpose and aligning one's actions with deeply held values was the foundation of a meaningful life. Without purpose, life becomes chaotic, ruled by distractions, impulses, and external pressures. A Stoic does not simply drift through life. They act with intentionality and direction. Seneca wrote, "If one does not know to which port one is sailing, no wind is favorable." This means that if you lack clear purpose, you will be swayed by temporary desires, peer pressure, and societal expectations. To develop inner power, you must define your purpose and focus only on what truly matters. Clarifying your core values. Before you can align your actions with your purpose, you need to identify your core values, the principles that define who you are and what you stand for. Every day. Example: a person who values health and well-being but constantly eats unhealthy food and skips workouts is living in contradiction to their values. A Stoic approach would involve consciously aligning daily habits with long-term goals, making sure every action serves their purpose. Practical application: write down your top 5 values, reflect on what truly matters to you, assess your daily habits. Are your actions supporting or contradicting your values? Make intentional choices. Before making a decision, ask, does this align with my purpose? The power of eliminating distractions. Living with purpose requires deep focus, but the modern world is filled with distractions, social media, endless notifications, and external noise. The Stoics trained themselves to ignore the unimportant and concentrate on what truly matters. Every day. Example: you plan to work on an important project, but you keep checking your phone, responding to texts, and getting lost in social media. Hours pass and you've made little progress. A Stoic approach would be to eliminate distractions and create an environment that fosters deep work. Practical application: set time blocks for focused work. Turn off notifications and commit to uninterrupted sessions. Declutter your digital life. Unsubscribe from unnecessary emails. Limit social media, and use technology as a tool, not a distraction. Prioritize tasks based on importance, not urgency. Focus on what aligns with your purpose, not just what feels urgent. Developing laser-like focus. The ability to concentrate deeply is a rare and powerful skill. The Stoics trained their minds to resist distractions and fully engage in the task at hand. Every day. Example: you are having a conversation with someone, but your mind is racing with other thoughts. Instead of truly listening, you are thinking about what to say next or checking your phone. A Stoic would practice full presence, giving their complete attention to the moment. Practical application: practice single tasking. Train your mind to focus on one thing at a time. Use mindfulness techniques. Deep breathing and present moment awareness help train focus. Remove unnecessary obligations. Say no to commitments that don't align with your purpose. Taking purposeful action. Living with intention. Stoic does not wait for inspiration or motivation. They act with intention, driven by purpose rather than fleeting emotions. Everyday example: you know you need to work on an important goal, writing a book, starting a business, or improving a skill, but you keep waiting for the right time. A Stoic response would be, the right time is now. Take the first step. Practical application: commit to small, consistent actions. Progress is made in small steps. Schedule your priorities. Block time for what matters most. Ignore the fear of failure. Perfectionism and overthinking kill progress. Just start. Conclusion: aligning your life with your values. Living with purpose and focus means eliminating distractions, defining your values, and taking intentional action every day. By applying these Stoic principles, you will gain clarity on what truly matters, eliminate distractions and shallow activities, train your mind to focus deeply and act with intention, live a life that reflects your values and purpose. Purpose is not something we wait to discover. It is something we create through our daily actions. The more intentional we become, the more powerful and fulfilling our lives will be. Are you ready to take control of your focus and purpose? Let's move forward. Next chapter: the power of detachment and letting go. Freeing yourself from emotional burdens. Chapter 7. The power of detachment and letting go. Freeing yourself from emotional burdens. The Stoic approach to detachment does not mean indifference. It means freedom from emotional suffering caused by excessive attachment to things beyond our control. The Stoics taught that clinging to possessions, status, relationships, or outcomes leads to distress. True peace comes from learning to let go. Epictetus wrote, Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. By reducing our attachment to external things, we develop inner stability, resilience, and freedom from unnecessary suffering. Why we struggle to let go. Many people suffer because they attach their happiness to things they cannot control. Material, possessions, the approval of others, or specific outcomes in life. Everyday example. Imagine you apply for your dream job and don't get it. Instead of moving forward, you dwell on the rejection, feeling inadequate and frustrated. A Stoic response would be to accept the outcome, reflect on what can be learned, and move forward with wisdom. Practical application. Recognize what is beyond your control. If you can't change it, let it go. Shift your focus to what you can control. Improve your skills, prepare better, and seek new opportunities. Practice gratitude. Appreciate what you already have instead of longing for what you lost. Detachment from material possessions. The Stoics understood that excessive attachment to material wealth leads to fear, anxiety, and dissatisfaction. Instead of valuing possessions, they valued virtue and wisdom. Everyday example. You buy the latest smartphone feeling excited at first, but soon a newer model is released and your excitement fades, making you crave the next upgrade. A Stoic approach would be to enjoy what you have without letting material things define your happiness. Practical application. Declutter and simplify. Remove unnecessary possessions to create mental clarity. Practice voluntary discomfort. Occasionally live with less to train yourself against material dependency. Detach from consumerism. Focus on experiences, knowledge, and relationships over material goods. Letting go of toxic relationships. Stoicism teaches us to surround ourselves with people who uplift and inspire us. Holding on to toxic relationships out of guilt or fear harms our well-being. Every day. Example, you have a friend who constantly drains your energy, criticizes you, and brings negativity into your life. Yet you feel guilty about distancing yourself. A Stoic response would be to set boundaries and prioritize relationships that align with your values. Practical application. Evaluate your relationships. Do they support your growth, or do they hold you back? Set firm boundaries. You are not obligated to maintain relationships that harm your well-being. Detach from the need for approval. Not everyone will support you, and that's okay. Freeing yourself from past regrets and future worries. Stoics emphasized living in the present moment, as regret anchors us to the past and worry distracts us from the present. Everyday example. You keep replaying a mistake you made years ago, feeling shame and regret, even though you can't change the past. A Stoic response would be to acknowledge the lesson, accept that the past cannot be changed, and focus on what can be done today. Practical application. Write down past regrets and acknowledge the lessons learned. Then release the emotions tied to them. Practice mindfulness. Stay grounded in the present moment instead of worrying about the future. Adopt a "what's next" mindset. Instead of dwelling on what happened, focus on your next step. The ultimate freedom. Releasing attachment to outcomes. A core Stoic belief is that we control our efforts, not the results. Detaching from specific outcomes allows us to act with excellence while remaining emotionally free. Every day. Example. You prepare extensively for an important presentation, but despite your best efforts, it doesn't go as planned. You feel disappointed and defeated. A Stoic response would be, "Did I give my best effort? Yes. Then I have nothing to regret." Practical application. Focus on process over results. Dedicate yourself to effort, not external rewards. Detach from external validation. Your worth is not defined by others' opinions. Reframe failure as growth. Every setback is a step toward improvement. Conclusion. The power of letting go. True Stoic freedom comes from releasing attachment to material possessions, toxic relationships, regrets, and uncontrollable outcomes. The more you let go, the more space you create for peace, wisdom, and personal growth. By practicing detachment, you will experience less stress and anxiety, cultivate inner freedom and emotional resilience, focus on what truly matters in life, live with greater clarity, confidence, and peace. The art of letting go is not about loss. It is about gaining control over your own mind. The less power external events have over you, the stronger you become. Are you ready to free yourself from emotional burdens and embrace true Stoic power? Let's continue. Next chapter, strengthening your mind with Stoic exercises, daily habits for resilience. Chapter 8. Strengthening your mind with Stoic exercises, daily habits for resilience. The role of Stoic exercises in mental strength. Stoicism is not just a philosophy, it is a daily practice. The Stoics believed that mental resilience is like a muscle. It grows stronger through consistent training and practice. Just as athletes train their bodies, Stoics train their minds through specific exercises that cultivate wisdom, discipline, and inner strength. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." By engaging in Stoic exercises, we prepare our minds for adversity, increase our self-discipline, and develop a calmer, more rational perspective on life. Morning reflection, setting intentions for the day. The Stoics believed in starting each day with intention. A morning reflection helps set the tone for a focused, disciplined day. Everyday example. Instead of waking up and immediately checking emails or social media, take a few moments to reflect on the kind of person you want to be today. A Stoic approach would be to visualize potential challenges and decide in advance how to respond with wisdom and patience. Practical application. Ask yourself, what virtues do I want to embody today? How can I practice patience, discipline, or courage? Mentally prepare for obstacles. Expect challenges and visualize yourself responding calmly. Set one key Stoic goal for the day. Focus on something within your control. Practicing voluntary discomfort. Training for hardship to build resilience, the Stoics deliberately exposed themselves to small hardships, training themselves to endure discomfort with grace. Everyday example. Instead of always seeking comfort, challenge yourself with controlled discomfort like skipping a meal, taking a cold shower, or walking in the rain without an umbrella. A Stoic approach would be to embrace discomfort as a tool for growth rather than avoiding it. Practical application. Fast for a few hours. It teaches self-control and gratitude for food. Take cold showers. Strengthen your tolerance for discomfort. Go without unnecessary luxuries. Train yourself to be content with less. Journaling. Self-examination and mental clarity. The Stoics believed in daily self-examination. Journaling helps process emotions, analyze challenges, and reinforce wisdom. Everyday example. You experience frustration at work. Instead of reacting impulsively, write about it and gain a clearer perspective. A Stoic approach would be to reflect on how you handled situations, what lessons were learned, and how to improve. Practical application. Write about challenges and emotions. See patterns in your reactions. Ask yourself, did I control what I could today? Did I react with wisdom? Use writing as a tool for detachment. When emotions are on paper, they lose their power over you. The evening review. Learning from the day. The Stoic evening review is a powerful habit for personal growth. It is a time to reflect on the day's events, celebrate successes, and recognize areas for improvement. Everyday example. Before going to bed, instead of mindlessly scrolling on your phone, spend 5 minutes reflecting on the actions, choices, and mindset you carried throughout the day. A Stoic approach would be to assess whether your actions aligned with your values and how you can improve tomorrow. Practical application. Ask yourself, did I handle challenges well today? Identify one lesson learned from the day. Growth comes from reflection. Commit to small improvements. Progress is made step by step. Practicing memento mori, the power of mortality. Awareness, memento mori, remember you must die, is a powerful Stoic exercise that reminds us that life is short and we should live with urgency and purpose. Every day. Example. Instead of taking life for granted, remind yourself that each day is a gift and should be used wisely. A Stoic approach would be to use this awareness not to create fear, but to cultivate gratitude and presence. Practical application. Reflect on mortality daily. Ask, if this were my last day, am I living the way I want? Let go of trivial worries. Most daily concerns are insignificant in the grand scheme. Focus on meaningful actions. Prioritize what truly matters. Conclusion. Daily practices for a resilient mind. Mental resilience is not built in a day. It is developed through daily practice and intentional habits. By incorporating these Stoic exercises, you will strengthen your mind and develop unshakable inner stability. By applying these practices, you will start each day with clear intentions. Train yourself to endure discomfort and challenges. Develop self-awareness and wisdom through journaling. End each day with reflection and self-improvement. Live with urgency, purpose, and gratitude. The strongest minds are those that train daily. Are you ready to apply these Stoic habits and develop unshakable resilience? Let's continue. Next chapter, How to Lead with Stoic Power, Applying Stoic Wisdom in Leadership and Decision-Making. Chapter 9, How to Lead with Stoic Power, Applying Stoic Wisdom in Leadership and Decision-Making. The Stoic approach to leadership. True leadership is not about authority or power over others. It is about setting an example, making rational decisions, and remaining composed in adversity. Stoic leaders influence through wisdom, integrity, and emotional control, guiding others by embodying the values they wish to see in the world. Marcus Aurelius, one of history's greatest Stoic leaders, wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." This means that to lead effectively, we must first lead ourselves. A Stoic leader does not demand respect. They earn it through action, discipline, and rational thinking, leading with integrity and moral clarity. A leader's greatest asset is their character. Stoic philosophy emphasizes integrity, fairness, and virtue in leadership. Everyday example. Imagine a workplace where a leader takes shortcuts, manipulates data, or prioritizes personal gain. This approach may bring short-term success, but it ultimately erodes trust and credibility. A Stoic leader prioritizes ethics over convenience, knowing that true leadership is built on trust and authenticity. Practical application. Make decisions based on principle, not pressure. Stay firm in your values even when it is difficult. Hold yourself accountable before others. Demonstrate honesty and responsibility in your actions. Ask, would I follow someone who acts as I do? If not, make necessary changes. Emotional control. Remaining steady. Under pressure, a leader who reacts emotionally loses credibility. Stoics trained themselves to pause before responding, ensuring their actions were guided by reason rather than impulse. Every day. Example, a crisis arises in your organization. Employees look to you for guidance, but you feel stressed and uncertain. Instead of reacting with frustration or panic, you take a deep breath, assess the situation logically, and respond calmly. A Stoic leader maintains composure, setting a reassuring example for those they lead. Practical application. Pause before reacting. Take a deep breath before making important decisions. Control your emotions even when others don't. Respond with logic, not impulse. Ask, will this situation still matter in 5 years? Gain perspective before acting. Making rational and ethical decisions. Stoic leaders are known for clear, rational decision-making. They avoid rash judgments, emotional bias, and external pressure, making choices based on wisdom and long-term impact. Everyday example. You must choose between two business strategies. One offers quick financial gain, but compromises ethical standards, while the other requires patience but upholds your values. A Stoic leader takes the long-term view, prioritizing integrity over immediate rewards. Practical application: use logic over emotion. Step back and assess situations objectively. Weigh long-term consequences over short-term benefits. Avoid decisions based solely on immediate rewards. Seek counsel from wise mentors. Reflect on past experiences and insights before making key choices. The power of leading by example: people follow actions, not words. A Stoic leader does not demand excellence from others. They demonstrate it first. Everyday example. In a company, the most respected leaders are not those who issue commands, but those who work hard, act ethically, and remain level-headed in tough times. A Stoic leader earns respect through their behavior, not through force. Practical application: model the behavior you expect. Be the first to show discipline, honesty, and effort. Teach through action. Let others learn by observing. Your composure and work ethic. Remain humble. A great leader serves rather than dominates. Building resilient teams through Stoic principles. Stoic leader cultivates a culture of resilience, responsibility, and self-improvement in their team. Everyday example. A company faces a financial downturn. Instead of panicking, the leader fosters an environment of problem-solving, strategic thinking, and emotional steadiness. A Stoic leader helps their team grow stronger through hardship rather than crumble under pressure. Practical application: encourage rational thinking. Teach others to view setbacks as opportunities. Foster a growth mindset. Praise perseverance and strategic problem-solving over mere results. Lead with optimism, not fear. Strengthen morale by demonstrating faith in the team's abilities. Conclusion: the Stoic blueprint for leadership. Leading with Stoic power means embodying wisdom, integrity, emotional stability, and rational decision-making. It is about serving, guiding, and inspiring through example. By applying these principles, you will gain respect and trust through ethical leadership, remain calm and collected under pressure, make decisions based on logic, not emotion, lead by example rather than authority, build resilient, focused, and disciplined teams. True leadership is not about control. It is about inspiring others through strength, wisdom, and action. Are you ready to lead with Stoic power? Let's continue. Next chapter: achieving true freedom. Through Stoicism, the path to inner peace and mastery. Chapter 10. Achieving true freedom. Through Stoicism, the path to inner peace and mastery. The Stoic definition of true freedom. True freedom is not about having unlimited choices or external power. It is about mastering oneself. The Stoics believed that freedom comes from liberation from fear, desires, and the opinions of others. When you control your thoughts, emotions, and actions, no external force can enslave you. Epictetus wrote, "No man is free who is not master of himself." This final chapter will explore how Stoicism helps us achieve inner peace, mental clarity, and complete mastery over our lives. Breaking free from external influences. Most people believe that freedom comes from wealth, status, or independence. But Stoicism teaches that true freedom comes from detachment from external validation. Everyday example. A person constantly seeks approval from social media likes and praise from others. Their happiness depends on external validation. A Stoic approach would be to cultivate self-worth from within, knowing that true confidence does not depend on others' opinions. Practical application. Detach from the need for approval. Define your value by your actions, not external validation. Avoid chasing status. Focus on wisdom, virtue, and inner growth over social recognition. Limit social comparison. Measure success by your own progress, not by competing with others. Mastering. Desires. The key to inner peace: uncontrolled desires, whether for material wealth, recognition, or pleasure, enslave the mind. The Stoics believed that freedom comes from learning to want less rather than accumulating more. Everyday example. Someone constantly upgrades their phone, car, or wardrobe to feel happy, yet satisfaction is always short-lived, and the cycle repeats. A Stoic approach would be to practice contentment, appreciating what we already have instead of always craving more. Practical application. Practice voluntary simplicity. Try living with less and see how little you truly need. Question every desire. Ask, does this truly add value to my life, or is it just a temporary craving? Train gratitude. Reflect daily on what you already have instead of chasing what you lack. Freedom from fear. Overcoming anxiety and worry. Fear is one of the greatest obstacles to freedom. The Stoics taught that we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Everyday example. Someone avoids taking risks, starting a new project, changing careers, or speaking their mind, because they fear failure or rejection. A Stoic response would be, what's the worst that can happen? Can I handle it? Yes. The realization that most fears are exaggerated frees us from anxiety. Practical application. Use negative visualization. Imagine the worst-case scenario. Prepare for it, and remove its power over you. Act despite fear. Take small steps toward what scares you. Fear fades with exposure. Accept uncertainty. Recognize that some things are out of your control and let them go. The ultimate mastery. Control over yourself. The highest form of Stoic freedom is complete control over your reactions, emotions, and decisions. When you reach this state, no event can disturb your peace. Every day. Example, someone insults you in a conversation. Instead of reacting with anger, you pause, acknowledge that their words do not define you, and move on. A Stoic master does not allow external events to dictate inner peace. Practical application. Pause before reacting. Train yourself to choose responses instead of reacting impulsively. Develop emotional resilience. Accept that setbacks are temporary and will pass. Own your choices. Take full responsibility for your actions, thoughts, and mindset. Conclusion. The Stoic path to ultimate freedom is not found in external success, wealth, or approval. It is found in self-mastery, emotional control, and detachment from things outside our power. By applying these Stoic principles, you will become unshakable in the face of adversity, free yourself from external validation and material cravings, overcome fear, and embrace life's challenges with confidence. Master your emotions, thoughts, and actions. Achieve deep, lasting inner peace. The journey to Stoic freedom is lifelong, but every step brings greater wisdom, strength, and clarity. Thank you for joining this journey. Now it is time to apply these lessons, embody Stoic wisdom, and experience true inner mastery. Closing reflections. The path forward with Stoic power. Final thoughts on the journey to Stoic mastery. You have now completed the journey through Stoic power. What is the secret to Stoic power? This book has provided you with the fundamental principles, practical exercises, and real-life applications of Stoicism, guiding you toward greater self-discipline, resilience, emotional mastery, and true freedom. But remember, Stoicism is not a philosophy you read once. It is a lifelong practice. The wisdom you have gained here is only valuable if applied consistently in your daily life. Key takeaways from this audiobook. Master yourself first. True power lies in controlling your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Live with purpose. Define your core values and align your daily actions with them. Detach from external validation. Seek inner worth rather than relying on status, wealth, or approval. Turn adversity into strength. Every challenge is an opportunity to grow mentally stronger. Practice daily Stoic exercises. Mental resilience is built through habits like journaling, reflection, and voluntary discomfort. Lead with integrity, influence through example, emotional stability, and ethical decision-making. Achieve inner freedom. Let go of desires, fears, and worries to experience unshakable peace. How to continue your Stoic practice, the power of Stoicism is best maintained by daily application. Here are some ways to keep growing. Morning reflection. Set your intentions and mentally prepare for challenges ahead. Evening review. Reflect on your actions, emotions, and areas for improvement. Negative visualization. Imagine obstacles in advance so you are never caught unprepared. Memento mori. Remember the shortness of life to stay focused on what truly matters. Journaling. Track your Stoic progress, lessons learned, and moments of growth. A final challenge for you. As a parting thought, ask yourself, am I truly living according to my highest values? If the answer is yes, continue the path with even greater discipline. If the answer is no, take action today to bring your life closer to your Stoic ideals. The journey does not end here. It begins now. Thank you for joining this exploration of Stoic power. May you continue to live with strength, wisdom, and unwavering purpose. End of audiobook. Stoic Power.